Well, here we are back in South Africa for what will be our fourth visit to the Kruger National Park. This one's been a long time coming. It's been almost 2 years and having cancelled twice because of COVID, but now we're finally on our way. This one's going to be a bit different as we're going to the Kgalagadi Transfrontier Park first for 2 weeks, and that promises to be exciting. It's somewhere we've never been before. Time to make a start. We've got about a 2-day drive to get to the park. Getting out of Johannesburg is a bit hair-raising, especially in a brand new car, but we're now on the N1 heading down towards Kimberley and Bloemfontein, and in theory the going should now be good, but we've hit a major road traffic works. Never mind, it's a very nice day. We've still got quite a long way to go though. One thing you get in South Africa which you don't seem to get anywhere else is that whenever traffic comes to a standstill, you get all these street sellers turn up, selling anything from cans of drink to windscreen wipers. I've no idea if they actually make a living. Well, that's the end of our first day in South Africa, halfway to the Kgalagadi Transfrontier Park, and we're stopping at this splendid place here called the Border Hotel in the town of Jan Kempdorp. It's taken a bit longer to get here today than we thought, and we didn't really expect to arrive here in the dark, but we did spend the morning with some friends in Johannesburg, so didn't really leave until lunchtime. Journey was okay, nothing spectacular, nothing greatly interesting, but we did have a wonderful sunset. Now it's time to check in, see what the room's like, and get a good night's sleep so we can do the next half of the journey to the Kgalagadi tomorrow morning. Not sure how much of the hotel you'll see in the dark, but it looks very splendid. Apparently built in 1879. We thought we'd treat ourselves on this first night and stay in the luxury hotel. Well, this is our room number 6. Let's go and see what that looks like. Well, how about that for a hotel room? It's even got a bed if you look far enough. Big enough bed. Nice chocolate on the pillow. Choice of pillows. This is the king room, and it's expensive by South African standards, but if you compare with back in the UK, it's about the same price as a Premier Inn. And I think you'll agree that this is better than the Premier Inn. So the complimentaries, rusks, crisps, cafetiere coffee, water, and even some complimentary sherry. I don't really think you can get a better hotel room than that. Certainly the finest room we've stayed in. Oh yeah, there's a bathroom as well. Let's see if the bathroom's anywhere near decent. Well, I think you can say that's okay. Well, we're just here for the one night on the way down to the Kgalagadi, and I think we've treated ourselves to a bit of luxury there. Good news is, although it's only one night here, we're staying here again on the way back as we head to the Kruger. So that's going to be very enjoyable. Anyway, that's the end of today, and we'll see you bright and early in the morning. Well, good morning on a beautiful morning at the Border Hotel. What a fantastic place to stay. It's a bit chilly this morning, but promises to be a beautiful day. We've got another long drive today of about 300 miles to Askham, which is just short of the Kgalagadi Transfrontier Park entrance. Looks like it's going to be a long day on different roads. Today should be more interesting than yesterday, which was spent on the N roads. We're going on the R roads today mostly, which is sort of across country. I think the difference is they're regional and national roads, so we might find a few potholes and a few more interesting going. So a quick look round, have some breakfast, and then we'll set off. We've got a bit of a traffic jam here.
Yes,
From Jan Kempdorp we took the R370, which was a lovely tarmac road, until suddenly it wasn't. about 30 rather interesting kilometres, we finally made it back onto tarmac. Driving for 5 hours now, so it's time for a break. We made it as far as Uppington, which is known as the gateway to the Kgalagadi. We're going to have something to eat and get all our provisions for the park. There's still, I think, about 350 kilometres to go before we reach the entrance gate to the park, but we'll be staying over at Askham before we get there. Still another 2.5 hours drive. Askham is a tiny little settlement in the middle of the Kalahari Desert, about 200 kilometres from Uppington, the nearest town. Amazingly, it has 2 petrol stations.
I'm upset. Hello.
Hello. Well, good morning. Today's the day that we finally get into the Kgalagadi Transfrontier Park. Been a good 2 days journey to get here. Quite a long way, but we finally made it. Stayed last night at this gem of a place called the Kamelthorn Guesthouse. Really superb place that's got everything you need. It's got a campsite as well. Ideal stopping off place if you want to visit the Kgalagadi Park. Just an hour's drive now before we get to the park, and it's nice and early in the morning, and it's quite a crisp morning. So we'll get going, I think, in a couple of minutes, and we'll see you on the road. Let's have a quick look around the Kamelthorn Guesthouse. And that's the little unit we stayed in. It's got everything you want. It's got a braai, it's got a little outdoor kitchen, nice bedroom, absolutely perfect. Well, that's us all checked in, and got all our paperwork here, permits, accommodation and everything, so we're all ready to go. Right, one of the first jobs is to deflate the tyres to 1.5 bar, because there's no tar roads in the park, it's all gravel. That's the tyres sorted, so let's go on our first game drive. One of the big differences between the Kgalagadi and the Kruger is that you have to open the camp gates yourself in the mornings or whenever you go for a drive, and you have to have a permit to leave the camp each day. After about 20 minutes we had our first game sighting, the beautiful oryx. having a break now at Milkflay picnic site, which is a splendid open picnic area. It's really interesting to actually be in an unfenced picnic area. This is about as far as we're going to drive today, and then we're heading back to check in at Twee Rivieren rest camp. It's been an interesting morning. It's not as different to the Kruger as I thought it would be, and not as many animals, but then that was expected. Lots of red hartebeests. I didn't expect to see many of those, but so far no luck with cats or anything like that. Still, we've got the rest of the day, and then we can come out again later on after we've settled in. And then finally, on the way back to Twee Rivieren, we got the sighting that everyone hopes for. Our game drive for the day is coming to an end, and we're heading back to Twee Rivieren. We're now heading up to our accommodation. Well, that's us at Unit 16. With a grand view over the park. The accommodation you can see in the background is actually in Botswana. Well, that's the end of our first day in the Kgalagadi Transfrontier Park. It's been a fairly quiet day game viewing, apart from 3 cheetahs, so you can't complain about that. That'll do us on our first day. We're now at Twee Rivieren rest camp, where we'll be staying for 2 nights, and I'm going to attempt a braai tonight, something I've never done before. We'll see how that goes. So I'll sign off now for this first episode, and tomorrow we'll go on another game drive off towards Nossob, and episode 2 will cover Twee Rivieren and Nossob. Thanks for watching this one so far. Well, this looks like it might be a light, so let's see what happens next.